Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
We begin tonight with breaking news. A staff member at West Fargo High School has tested positive for COVID-19. An alert went out to family and staff this weekend saying the school is using contact tracing and all close contacts have been sent an email. They did not specify how many people are considered close contacts, only that it is less than 1% of the West Fargo High School's students and staff on site. School leaders say there will be a deep cleaning and disinfecting of the area's school the person might have been. They also reminded everyone of the importance of things like mask wearing, social distancing, and good hygiene. Today, the Dilworth-Glendon-Felton Public Schools District made the decision to move middle school and high school students to full-time distance learning. In a letter, the superintendent said they have seen an increased number of reports that students and staff have been exposed or tested positive for COVID-19 at the middle school and high school sites. After meeting with health officials, these schools will move to full-time distance learning from September 14th to the 25th. Elementary students will continue in-person learning. Taking a look at the COVID-19 numbers, North Dakota is seeing another jump with 431 new cases. Burleigh and Cass County had the most cases reported today, Burleigh with 90, Cass with 87. One death was also reported. The overall death toll is at 168. Minnesota is reporting 741 confirmed cases of COVID-19, along with 13 new deaths linked to the illness. More than 1,900 deaths have been attributed to the disease. Grand Forks is offering another opportunity to get tested for COVID-19 this Tuesday, the 15th. There will be testing from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You have to be at least 5 years old and you have to register beforehand. Face coverings are required. The test is free. 6 months after the sudden death of their 10-year-old son, a Minnesota family was finally able to hold their memorial event and have some sort of closure. Devin Fry attended the service and brings us more.
This lakefront property at Rose Shores Campground became the site where a family finally got some closure. The Scully family held a memorial service for their son Ridge, who died earlier this year after suffering a head injury while playing basketball with his cousins. Ridge was only 10 years old. The family initially planned on holding a ceremony back in March, but that was postponed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Ridge was finally laid to rest on Sunday with a large crowd made up of friends, family, and members of the community.
It's been a long time waiting, and like I said, wondering if people would move on or if they would still come celebrate him, and it allowed us to make it extra special.
Living in this community, the small community, over the 6 months, we've seen so much support from the community that just kind of blows us away.
There were pictures of Ridge on display throughout the venue, and some of his treasured items were prominently featured, including several basketball-related items devoted to the boy whose dream was to play in the NBA. Perhaps the most special feature was a basketball hoop set up behind the crowd, a hoop which was originally meant to be gifted to Ridge on his 10th birthday, a gift which he was never able to unwrap. The family set up the basket for kids at the service to play with so that Ridge's friends could shoot hoops with him one last time.
We had gotten him the hoop, and he didn't know that he was getting it, so we thought it would be nice to incorporate it in, to where he can still play with his friends and his birthday hoop.
Ridge, who was described as thoughtful and giving by those who were close to him, has now improved the lives of others even after his death. His organs were donated to help those in need throughout the country, and so far, he has saved 4 lives.
That's what we love about him. We're so proud of that he was able to do that.
His story, doesn't end. When he died, it just will keep going.
Reporting from Frazee, Devin Fry, Valley News Live.
A GoFundMe account set up to help pay for hospital bills and support the family has already raised over $38,000. Authorities are investigating a fatal plane crash with 2 people on board in Brown County, South Dakota. The plane went down around 11 a.m. near Groton Airport. Officials say both the pilot and the passenger died as a result of the crash. The cause of the crash is still under investigation. There are a lot of questions surrounding the upcoming election. Officials this week confirming physical polling places will be open for the general election in November. In large counties, there will be earlier voting in person as well.
I think that we will see a lot of people going to vote in person, and that's just going to lead to potentially long lines. So the best thing to do is either to consider voting in person early, maybe vote by mail.
Newby says voters who live in smaller counties that don't have early voting but still want to vote in person should come to the polls well-researched and prepared to vote in order to be in and out as quickly as possible. Landon's light is still shining bright in the heart of his classmates. 12-year-old Landon Solberg passed away almost 1 year ago from an aggressive brain tumor. This weekend, friends and former classmates planted a tree in his memory and placed a memorial rock outside of the Liberty Middle School in West Fargo. Landon's parents say their son prayed to get better so that he could attend middle school, but never got to start 6th grade. An early winter storm, followed by an early school wrap-up due to the pandemic, pushed the planting of the tree back. Tomorrow on North Dakota Today, hear from Landon's parents and the families behind the emotional tribute. 2020 marks the 99th anniversary for the Miss America organization. The competition started off as a beauty contest in Atlantic City in 1921. Today, Miss America is a nationwide nonprofit that provides scholarships to young women, empowering them for the future. Miss North Dakota 2019 says it's far more than some beauty contest.
There's such a legacy of women who have done incredible things and that are incredibly talented and educated, and to be one of those few that got to walk and compete on the Miss America stage, I'm just so honored.
This year's competition has been postponed due to the coronavirus, but contestants are very excited for the upcoming year and the celebration of 100 years of Miss America. The Minot Fire Department turns 125 years old today. The department is celebrating its service to the community and commemorating triumphs over catastrophes past and present. Faith Hatton brings us the history of the department.
The Minot Fire Department has a lot to celebrate this year. Keeping up with fires in the past, such as the Westland Oil and Chateau fires, to modern-day disasters such as the 2011 flood and the Halls apartment fire earlier this year. Members of the Minot Fire Department say the progress since the first fire response as early as the 1890s is interesting to look back on.
Whenever there was a call for a fire, the first individual that had brought the team of horses to the station would get the job to haul the engine to the fire. So people were trying to get there because they got paid to use their team of horses.
The Minot Fire Department was officially established on September 13, 1895. History continues to be made at MFD as the first female fire chief, Kelly Kronschnabel, was appointed in 2016. Longtime firefighters say technology has changed over the years.
Mostly the equipment. Everything is constantly changing. Think of the bucket brigades they used to fight fire with, and now we can put hundreds of gallons a minute of water on a fire. It's just such a dramatic difference.
To commemorate the anniversary, the department has been posting historic photographs on its Facebook page, giving a spotlight to some of the most historic events in Minot's history.
What we're trying to do is just inform the public of, how long we've been around the Minot area, how the evolution from our firefighters back in 1895 actually, all the way till now have changed.
Taking time to learn from the history of the past to build a better future.
The Minot Fire Department works out of 4 stations throughout the city. Construction of a 5th station is expected to begin in 2022. Still ahead tonight, the death toll continues to rise out west as crews do what they can to try and fight back the flames. But first, Nathan Hopper has a look at your weather for your work week.